Wow, if you ever wanted to be a super asshole racist, this movie is a book on it. I'm Jackie.
I also had a movie about me called Station Wagon Wallendorf. It didn't do nearly as well as this one, though. I'm Sam.
In which Yaffett Cotto schools Ben Kingsley. I'm Justin, and this is Truck Turner on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me,
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
thrill me,
Beg for a left.
thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
It stinks.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the podcast, we got the first of three picks, all blaxploitation picks coming from me. They will not be in sequence. They will be in sequence for my order of picks, if that makes any sense. If you have never followed the show and how we rotate movies, well, you're just going to have to figure it out on the fly. But this week is Truck Turner. My next pick will be TNT Jackson, and then finishing the whole thing off with Dolomite. So that should be interesting. But this Truck Turner, starring Isaac Hayes, Yaffett Cotto, Nichelle Nichols, and a little bit of Scatman Crothers, and a little bit of Stan Shaw. Yeah.
Dick Miller.
Dick Miller. How did I forget Dick Miller? Oh, because he's white.
Yeah.
He's the white guy in the movie.
He was the eye patch guy?
No, Dick Miller's the lawyer that sends them after Gator.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They jump bail on him. Famed actor Dick Miller. Jackie, we'll start with you this week. You probably, well, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't make massive assumptions, but as far as our marriage time, we haven't watched a lot of blaxploitation movies together, so have you watched very many blaxploitation movies before you met me?
No. And
Not even Blackula?
no, I had not seen Blackula.
Blackula sucks.
Not even The Big Bird Cage?
No.
What about Black Mama, White Mama?
No.
What about Shaft?
Shaft.
No.
Damn.
Superfly.
Superfly?
No.
The Mac?
No.
Candy Tangerine Man.
No. That sounds made up.
No, that's a good one. It's got John Daniels in it.
What about tall black guy with a huge gun whose sidekick is a busty lady who don't take no shit? You seen that one?
That sounds like Pam Grier.
Well,
I think I might have seen that one.
Yeah, it's always Pam Grier.
I know that she's seen Black Shampoo because we made her watch it.
Oh, right. So,
And its sequel, Hot Potato.
and yeah, Three the Hard Way, Black Belt Jones. I mean, we could go on and on.
Well, we did an episode on Three the Hard Way, didn't we?
Nope. We just watched it.
We watched Black Belt Jones.
Yeah.
That was an awesome movie.
Yeah, Black Belt
He had a
Jones.
stick, right?
No, that's Walking Tall.
Oh.
Black Belt Jones has a black belt.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Black Belt Jones and Hot Potato are the sequel. Hot Potato is the sequel to Black Belt Jones. Black Shampoo is the one that Jackie's thinking about with the walking stick.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about Truck Turner. Sam, you've seen this movie before. I know that you and I talked about it probably 20 years ago.
Yes.
What new information have you gleaned now that you are obligated to actually give a shit about things?
Not a lot of new information, because the problem is that my foray into blaxploitation was when I was in college, so I'd read all about this shit. But the interesting information is that the original writer of the script, that she only got a story by credit.
Okay.
Which she didn't want anymore because they'd changed it into something that she thought was vile.
Huh.
So she put her ex-husband's name on it instead.
Suck it, dick.
Lee Chapman, who was, if you go back far enough, Napoleon Solo's secretary in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Okay.
And she would do in front of the camera and behind the camera, she was writing for Wild Wild West. She would go on to write Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry.
Right. I love that movie.
Yes. That's probably going to be the thing that she did that you like the most.
Okay.
But she wrote the original screenplay for this as what she felt was a vehicle for Lee Marvin. And it was just a bounty hunter, dirty 70s bounty hunter.
Okay.
They couldn't, I don't even know that he ever got a look at it because AIP bought it immediately. And this is a little post Arkoff still being in the office. I think Weintraub's running the show at this point.
Right. His name was on the cards.
Yeah. She kind of busted in and she's like, all right, boys, no free rewrites. And he's like, okay, go away. And then they rewrote it with somebody else.
Well, I hope that whoever rewrote it was the one that put the cat in as a character, Francis.
Right.
Francis?
Yeah.
Poor, sweet, the late Francis.
Yeah, the late Francis. He's not quite as awesome as Toonsis or the cop cat from the Cat People movie. But anyways, enough about Francis. We'll get to him in the plot. Sam, keep going. That's all you got.
Also, she wrote... No, it's not it. It's not all I got. I started thinking about cats and it made me happy. She also wrote the pilot for Walker, Texas Ranger. That was one of the last things she did. Yeah.
All right, that lines up.
She's got bad movies in her blood,
Right,
basically. Because
right.
Walker, Texas Ranger is bad movie, the show.
Right.
I loved that show.
Yeah, if we had, I mean, we could make an entire spin-off podcast of just Walker, Texas Ranger, and it would probably last 10 years.
Yeah, we could
there's
just
100
do it.
episodes of just doing Walker, Texas Ranger
Right.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do for our Wednesday episodes. Just start the Walker, Texas
No,
Ranger.
I have no interest in doing this.
Oh, come on.
Just because I said it was possible doesn't mean that I want to do it.
What do you think, Sam? Me and you on our own adventure, Walker, Texas Ranger?
I don't know.
That's a no. Okay, that
I
sounds
just watched
polite.
a lot of that. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a lot of it a couple years ago, and I'm not ready to go back in, even though it is really fun.
It's a rabbit hole.
It's a rat. It doesn't stop. There's so many episodes of Walker. So anyway, Lee Marvin, as I mentioned, I don't think there was ever really anything other than that's who she had in mind. Like, this is the character, what she's thinking of, right?
Right.
Apparently, they tried to get Mitchum. James Coburn was sort of attached, and then they were just like, nope, this is going to be... The only way we're getting this made is if it's a blaxploitation pick.
I can see Coburn. I can't see Mitchum as a bounty hunter. He's just too mild. Like, bounty hunters have got to be, a little tough.
I think that was Mitchum's deal. He was the soft-spoken tough guy before Norris, apparently.
Yeah, but he
then
wasn't
we gotta
exactly
remember-
action guy.
No, well, he did a lot of the Westerns. He was a big gunslinger in the Westerns when he was younger. And we got to remember that the end of Mitchum's career was not great.
Right.
So he could have very easily been attached to this.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, they were going to bring in nobody. And then all of a sudden they realized, bam, Isaac Hayes is going to be a draw. And he wanted to get into acting anyway. So that sort of works itself out. And he's excited because he's going to be able to do the whole soundtrack himself, Stax Records, and a lot of people that have listened to the whole thing say this is every bit as good as the Shaft soundtrack.
Right.
However, Stax Records went bankrupt while this was being made, so the album ends up straight in bargain bins, and Isaac Hayes doesn't do that great off of it, and nobody knows it because it went right into the fucking bargain bin.
Right. Yeah, no, the opening track is very Shaft-esque. In fact, I believe the opening track is called Truck Turner. It
is called Truck Turner.
Yeah.
And it has the same interludes. He retread those tires.
Right. Hey, man, you got to stick with what works, right?
Yeah, you got to do it. It was fine. And the rest of it I was noticing was just like, it's a decent Isaac Hayes album. It's too bad it ended up in the bargain bin.
Yeah. No, I'd like to get my hands on it because I love Isaac Hayes.
I thought it sounded like a 70s porn.
Well, yeah, dude. That's why I love Isaac Hayes.
Apparently Tarantino likes this soundtrack better than Shaft, which is why he's recycled more from this soundtrack than others, I guess, as according to IMDb, which is probably wrong.
Despite everything I just said about being a fan of Isaac Hayes, I don't have the Shaft soundtrack, But I'm pretty sure the only song on the Shaft soundtrack is the theme from Shaft. Like, what else is there?
Oh, a bunch of I'm gonna lay you down shit.
Is there?
Just like this one.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to. Let's get our hands on both of them, and we'll give a later date report. But proceed.
Yeah. Jonathan Kaplan, the director, was a Corman guy. He was in the Nurse cycle. So his first was Night Call Nurses, and then he did a teachers movie that was like a spin-off of the Nurses Corman cycle.
Right.
And then he did Blaxploitation right before this Slams. And it's odd because he's one of the only people that would like, well, he's not one of the only, but he's one of the rare that worked for both Corman and Arkoff. What is odd about him is that he would go on to do The Accused, which of course is where Jodie Foster won her first Academy Award.
Right. Okay. That's a career shift.
It is. And then he went up, he went down, he went up, and then he went to TV, and then he got out, or died.
Hey, I'm out.
Remember.
I'm out, baby.
I'm out, baby.
I'm going to Del Boca Vista.
Now, here's the most interesting thing I think about this movie. Why the fuck is Yaffett Cotto in this movie?
Right.
Because Yaffett Cotto's movie right before this was being the main villain in Live and Let Die.
Right.
You know why he's in this movie? Because he really needed the cash because his divorce got bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How many people
Otherwise,
have done movies for that reason? Wasn't there
lot.
something that, not Hugh Jackman, not George Clooney, what's the other guy's name that nobody likes?
Hugh Grant?
No, yeah, Grant, I think, went through a divorce like that. Fucking Academy Award winning handsome guy, beautiful mind. What the fuck is his name?
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe went through one of those.
His
didn't he?
divorce didn't go good.
Yeah.
It was bad. He's selling memorabilia out of his. He looked like he was like living in his own garage, just out of shame.
Right.
Even though they don't live together anymore, he was like, "I'm moving to the garage, even though we're already divorced, and this is actually my house. I'm going to rent out the house and just live in the garage with my memories."
Yeah, this is my space.
Yeah.
My domain. No one can come in here. My domain of sadness.
He's come back, though.
Yeah, no, I think he's doing okay. I mean,
Let that be a lesson to you, gentlemen and ladies. Once you commit up, you got to do a clean divorce, or you're just going to get taken to the cleaners.
what do you mean, like rub them out?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
What's
Maybe.
a clean divorce?
That's where you're like, you know what? I'm not sexually attracted to you anymore because your ass got too fat.
Yeah, see, the clean divorce is the one that happens if one of the people didn't fuck half of the planet before the divorce.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they fuck half the planet before the divorce, then the other person gets to take all their money.
Okay. All right. So don't
Yeah.
do that is what you're saying. And if you do that,
Yes.
rub them out.
Okay, I think that between the three of us, we've just come up with a viable plan.
Okay.
You should write a book called Do It Clean or Rub 'Em Out.
Or,
Yeah.
feed them to the tigers, whatever, Carol, whatever floats your boat.
Divorcing, Stinker Madness style. That can be the name of the book.
Yeah, there you go. What else you got, buddy?
Well, the Yaffett Cotto thing is the most interesting thing
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, are we ready to dive into this? Actually, no, we're not. First, I want to reference one other thing. We already talked about the music, but I want to turn to Jackie and talk about the attire.
Costume Corner with Jackie.
Right.
So at first you're thinking, okay, this is a normal 70s. He's got our main guy wears a Canadian tuxedo.
Kind of. It's the 70s Canadian tuxedo. It's very formal for that.
Right. And so it's a Canadian tuxedo. Let's not church it up dirt.
It's the formal
No, it
version.
is because he's got a duster. It's a denim duster. So he's like the Canadian Grim Reaper, only in formal wear.
Right.
Right. Yeah, he's a very classy dude.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get
No, he's
introduced.
not. He's got cat pee on him.
Sam, we're not to that point yet, and that's not part of his costume. You don't see a big cat piss stain on his shirt.
You do.
I didn't notice it. So then his partner's typical 70s, or yeah. But let's get to the real.
Oh, I like Jerry's clothes. He's like bright. It's very vibrant. He took the resolution on his pants and turned it all the way up.
Alan Weeks' character?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he looked sharp.
Yeah, he's got a tablecloth shirt and then a turtleneck underneath it, and it's all very high vibrancy. I like high vibrancy stuff. It looks cool.
Okay. Thank you for sharing in Justin's costume corner.
Hey, dude, it's this three-way podcast. We all get to talk.
Fine. Apparently, you have a lot of things you want to talk about. You just let me take the lead over there, new diva, clothing diva man. Okay, so what really starts to get my attention with costumes is when we get introduced to Gator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because Gator's got the most interesting houndstooth's suit on
Right.
that I have ever seen. And I'm like, I love that suit. I totally want one for my wardrobe. And all the women are either dressed in bikini tops with like silk pants,
Mm-hmm.
or they've got shirts on with no bra that they've just left unbuttoned and then tied at the bottom like, gee, I hope
Hell
the wind
yeah.
doesn't blow my shirt open.
Hope it does.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of men on that set were like, and cut, your boobs are out again. But then we get to the whores, and they've got like sparkly dresses on, and oh man, everybody looks just so fabulous in their really super tight pants. And then, yeah, and then we get to the actual like pimps, the pimp community.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna burn a question now.
Okay.
Because there were some wonderful costumes, a lot of fur going on, a lot of print, and it was fucking rad. And like a cape, one guy had like a half cape thing on.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, the one pimp character had all of his clothes, and then whatever pattern was on his shirt was also on his eye patch.
So I guess the answer is yes.
So my question is, who was the flashiest dressed pimp? Who was your guys' favorite?
Well, not
Yaffett Cotto's flashiest. The guy with the eye patch is close,
Right.
which is why he goes into business with him.
Right.
But at the funeral, when they're all there, Yaffett Cotto comes out and he's like, "Look at me, bitches," and they're like, "Oh my god, look at him." He's
Right.
we are bitches.
I'm going with Sam. Yaffett Cotto looked by far the coolest. He's got like a powder blue. His entire suit is powder blue with white fur in the collar, and he's got a derby cap and a cane. He looks fucking cool.
Not at the funeral. He's got a black and white fur coat on.
Well, it's all the same thing, just different colors of looking cool.
Yeah, he's got fur on almost everything he wears. And he's the one that I was talking about that had the cape on.
Mm-hmm.
When he's sitting in the apartment, he has a half cape on.
Now that leads me to a question that I have to burn since we're talking about this right now.
Wait,
He
who's
said Yaffett Cotto.
You said Yaffett Cotto too?
Yeah.
I'm going with Eye Patch Guy.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah, eye patch guy's a strong number 2.
Yeah, I totally loved him because all of his eye patches matched his outfit. And when we first see him, it is a like crystal studded, diamond studded eye patch, and it is fucking rad.
Sam, what's your question?
My question is, do pimps go to regular tailors and then those tailors have like pimp section of fabrics, or are there just pimp tailors? And this is a real question because this shit gets made in real life. Like, what is the answer?
I imagine that there's just
What is
pimp
the
tailors.
answer? There's just pimp tailors?
Yeah, I would think that there's just pimp tailors. Like I'm sure they do some other stuff. Like maybe they make some like modern days. You know, they make like custom sneakers for like LeBron and stuff. But yeah, no, I think that they just are guys that are like, yeah, we've got all the expensive fabrics, and then a guy walks in and is like, oh shit, it's Jimmy Tooney's. I know his style, and you pull out the zebra print and pass that over to him first and say, how big do you want your cuffs?
Sure.
You know
you
who
say all of the expensive fabrics, what you mean is they have all of the shit that Joanne Fabrics just pointed the other direction when it showed up. Like, no, we're not even going to take that shit.
Right.
So, you know what I think? If we really wanted to know, we would ask Cat Williams, who looks a lot like Gator in this movie.
A little, yeah.
And he always wears those pimped out clothes outfits.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has a guy.
He probably has a guy. But, you know, if you're just like a budding pimp and you're like, hey, I locked down my first stable of hoes. I need to start looking the part. I've already got the Cadillac that has no top on it. Where do I go to get pimp clothes? So I guess you just start calling around and be like, hey, do you got zebra print? And if the answer is no, then you know you don't need to go in there.
Oh, bullshit, dude. You're a startup pimp. Your grandma's making your clothes for at least the first
Yeah,
year.
but where's she going to get the fabric, Jackie? That's the problem.
Joanne Fabrics in the bargain
they
bin.
don't have zebra print. You missed
Is it the only reason that pimps know each other is because that's the one place that they see one another is at the tailor and they have to call a truce because they need to look fucking dapper?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the bar with no name in Marvel Comics. Once you go into the tailor's office, you know, all the violence and all the undercutting and backstabbery that goes out all the window, and you guys can just hang out in the pimp tailor place and have a nice cup of tea while you get your size 42s polished.
Some cognac, purple drink, whatever.
Right.
Yep.
Purple drink.
Mint julep.
Purple drink. I'll have some of your finest Romulan ale. Sir, get the fuck out of here.
You are not a pimp.
You're a dork.
They have a hard line that you can only have 4 ounces of purple drink because there's no robo tripping in there.
Right, exactly. Okay, let's get into Truck Turner. So, Truck is a guy who is a bounty hunter. They call him skip tracers. I don't know if that's what people still, or like if you're in
That's
the biz.
what we call them now.
Do we? I just call him bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're called skip tracers still.
I've always heard the term bail hopper.
Bail hopper, yeah.
I thought that's the person that's actually jumping bail, not the person hunting them down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That makes
yeah, I
sense.
guess that makes sense.
A bail hopper hunter.
Well, I've never been to jail.
The
so.
hopper popper?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopper popper. Well, that's our new Sneaker Madness phrase there, hopper
Yeah.
popper.
Well, you've just contributed to the bounty hunterism. Anyways, so his deal is he's like the most roughest, toughest bounty hunter that's ever lived. He's a former football player who everybody knows is one badass dude, and you can't fuck with him. Formerly entitled Mac Truck Turner because he hit so hard. And he got a sports injury, and now he's decided to, or he hasn't decided recently, he's been doing this for a while, to be a bounty hunter.
Well, you get to beat up and shoot people for free.
Right. He has no problem beating up and shooting people. It's not even like a moral quandary for him. It's like his favorite.
Well, I guess it's not free. Free of jail time.
Right.
But, as long as he's on a case, he can pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
I wonder if that's true.
It affords him the ability to be a complete fucking slob and wear clothes that just got pissed on by a cat. Because I'm not letting this go. He's like, God damn it, cat, you pissed on my last shirt.
It's his last shirt.
And
what
I'm
happened to all
assuming
the
that
other shirts?
They got pissed on by the cat.
So did he just bin them, or like he doesn't believe in washing them?
He wore them, and then when he gets back to the beginning of the cycle, he'll be like, oh, and the cat pisses on that shirt again.
So then he just goes and buys new shirts?
No, he just wears clothes that cats have pissed in. It's disgusting. Because cat piss
never
makes your
get clean.
eyes water.
It's just always piss shirt guy.
It's piss shirt guy. He's piss shirt guy.
That's why he has to have a convertible. It's because he always smells like cat piss, and his partner's like, look, you need to do something about this. So he just went out and traded his car in for a convertible. He's like, problem solved. Can't get rid of the cat.
So he's got a partner, speaking of which, who's named Jerry. Jerry's a cool, mellow, kind of palling around guy. He's not
Married man.
He's not anybody to fuck with on his own right, but he's definitely not Truck Turner. But he's a good sidekick for Truck. He can handle his own business, and he's a good friend.
Good friend. He seems very charismatic and well dressed for a complete fucking murderer.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know what you don't get to do if you're a bounty hunter? Shoot the fuck out of everybody.
Right.
All the time.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry gives him a call. He's like, hey, man, wake up. I know you've been drinking beer all night by yourself and your cat. And it's not even your cat. It's your old lady's cat, but your old lady's not even there because we'll get to that later. But come on down. We got a job. We got to find this guy named Gary. He's a bail hopper, I guess.
Jumper.
Yeah.
It's jumping bail, but yeah.
So they drive down to the Air Force because that's where Gary is. He's a military guy. He works at the Air Force Base. And Truck's like, all right, let me in. I got a warrant for Gary's arrest here. And the guy at the gate's like, shit, no, you don't. You
Calls him all kinds of derogatory names.
Yeah, we'll just assume all that doesn't happen, even though I guess it's plot relevant. Yeah, no, these guys are totally racist to Truck. They're like, you have no business here because, you're just some douchebag, N-word, and get the fuck out of here, bud. And Truck is like, oh, shit, not this shit again. So he busts through the gate.
Yeah.
They pull out their guns. They're shooting at him, and he's like, oh, please hit my back tire. Please hit my back tire. And they do.
They do. He's got Jedi mind tricks, too.
Right.
And he's told them that the full weight of the law is behind him. He can just go onto a military base and grab a guy. No, you can't.
No, I don't think you can.
You call him on the phone, and they're like, oh, we got a guy in here that's broken the law. We will just hand him to you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he goes there, then they get to the major, and the major's like protecting the guy.
Uh-huh.
The major will be like, no, here you go.
Yeah,
here's the guy.
Here's the guy.
Yeah. And then the major's like, and the only reason the major even changes his mind is because they're like, do you want a news story about somebody on your base who nabbed a 13-year-old girl and brutally raped and beat her up?
Right.
And he was like, no.
Oh, I guess not.
And then he calls for the guy to be arrested or to be brought out, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, make sure he's wearing civilian clothes. It's like, oh my God, you're such a douche.
Right. No, everybody's a douche in this movie except for Truck Turner and Jerry and their respective ladies and Nate and Dick Miller. Everybody else is a total douche.
Eye patch guy's okay.
No, he's not.
He's a pimp, Jackie.
He's a pimp. And, I mean, Jerry's the nicest murderer in the movie.
Right.
But that's it. And I'm not going to say that Truck Turner isn't a douche because he's wearing cat piss.
Okay, he might be a little bit of a douche, but he's an upbeat, optimistic douche at least, Sam.
He's an upbeat, optimistic murderer.
Right. Okay, so they get Gary after Truck gets a new set of a new tire on his on the back of his car because I guess they've got tires laying around that fit 70s cars at Air Force bases, but
in the 70s they had it right. They just put the same fucking tires on every car.
On every car, right?
Yeah. What size tire goes on that? The same size tire that goes on every sedan that is way too big and the same size.
Right. Exactly. So I kind of think that this isn't the first time it's happened. Like if he has his radiator's going bad, he just pulls in backwards. He drives around in reverse so the gunfire comes at his radiator.
Oh,
my cigarette lighter's bad. He's like, come on in here, shoot this thing.
That's the thing. Every Wednesday, they got to come drag some asshole out.
Right.
He knows how to push that MP's buttons, and he just says that out loud, like, "Oh, I need a new back left tire." He needs all new tires. It doesn't matter which one gets shot.
Yeah,
it's always the right guess.
So they pick up Gary. Gary is a real piece of shit.
A racist piece of shit.
He does a pretty hard thing and becomes the biggest fucking douche in this movie real fast.
Real fast, like immediately. I mean, the one thing, it's not just that he's a douche, he's a dumb shit douche because as soon as he gets in the car with two very large black men who have very large hand cannons, he just starts running his mouth about it.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're an idiot, dude.
Yeah, just starts being a racist piece of shit. On top of the fact that he is a child rapist.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest. Our heroines at this point, or murderers, as Sam likes to call them,
Right.
are looking for a reason to kick this guy's fucking ass.
They're not looking for a reason. They found it in the first three sentences he says.
But it's okay now because the guy's like, you blank are so tough with me in these handcuffs, and then it cuts to them fighting.
Right.
And he just gets his fucking ass kicked, and the whole time you're going, yeah,
Right.
kick in his fucking teeth,
Beat his
fucking
ass,
child
Brock.
rapist.
Beat his ass.
Fucking,
So they drop him off at the prison. That guy's done.
Felt pretty good about that one.
Yeah. So Truck goes and visits his lady friend, whose name is Annie. She is in lady prison for 30 days for We have any clue what she did?
Still on
She's
TV.
a thief.
Oh, okay. All right. She boosted a TV. She's doing a stint in there for 30 days, and tomorrow she gets out. And so she's like, "You're going to pick me up, right?" And he's like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm picking you up. You and I are going to have a ding-dong date because you're meeting my ding-dong on a date."
Wow, I can't imagine why you weren't successful at dating before I met you. Would you like
And
to go
then
on
it
a...
worked on you.
I know. Well, would you like to go on a ding-dong date? Yes.
Yes.
I would like to ride that pony, sir.
It's not a pony. It's more like a little pig's tail.
I still liked it, though.
It's even got the curl. So she's all like, "Yeah, let's get me the fuck out of here. I've been in here for too long." He's like, "All right, baby, tomorrow I'll be here. I will be here to pick you up, and I won't be late."
Or drunk.
Or drunk.
Or covered in another man's blood.
Not that. I will also get a fresh shirt. Maybe not the fresh shirt part, but I'll try.
It'll only be twice peed on by cats.
So, I got a question. You know, the women are all hooting and hollering at him as he's coming to see his gal, right? Like they do in men prisons, right? When the lady walks by.
Yeah, right.
But I've never seen this in any other movie where it's a women's prison and they're like, "Hey, good looking.
Oh,
you dark piece of chocolate." I'm like, is that what happens?
In women in prison movies, every single time. That's all the experience I have with going into a lady prison. I've never been in there. Maybe I should check it out and be like, "Hey, ding dong date coming in here." It's a little pigtail. But in every women in prison movie, oh yeah.
Sam, have you ever went to a women's prison?
Rough. No, I haven't been to a women's prison. They don't let men into women's prisons, so just go check it out.
So, where do you keep your
because I was
lesbian
like-
shower scenes at?
I just wondered if I could, wander around and see what was going on in there.
So do you guys have like an open mud pit where they get to wrestle, or is that like outside and it's more spontaneous?
There's bedding, right?
There's bedding. And like, can I pick who wrestles? I don't know, but it seems like that's how it works in movies. All right, so they go back to the office, him and Jerry, and we get introduced to Nate, his like bookie for bounty hunting. I'm not really sure what you call that guy.
The bail bondsman.
No, it seems like it's his like dedicated dispatcher, because the bail bondsman, or does he just like wander through all the bail bondsmen, or do you just, when you're a bounty hunter, you just have one guy that you go to?
No, you get, there's multiple bondsmen, and if somebody jumps bail, they call you and you go run them down.
All right, so when you don't have a bond, you just,
like Dog the Bounty Hunter, say. He's also a bondsman, though his wife served as the bondsman.
okay, all right, whatever.
But that's the idea. Most bondsmen here, if you skip, they're the ones that are going to run you down because they don't want to pay.
Right, yeah. And you're also probably not the toughest dude on the planet. You probably skipped because you got a DUI. Got a little bit of Doge in your pocket. You're probably not going to be a real big threat. Failure to appear. I got to get a guy with a fucking hand cannon for that. No.
Yeah. You forget to wake up, Petey? Yeah. All right, got to take you back to jail, bud. That's how that works.
Oh, all right. So Fogarty, Dick Miller wants to see them. He's got a big bond, and they already know Fogarty's ways. They're like, "Oh shit, this is going to be a real big bond, and he's going to not want to pay us very much, but we ain't got anything else going on." So,
Speaking of costume talk,
yeah,
that's Dick Miller's real jacket. Those are just his clothes.
hell yeah, man.
Oh, those were sweet. That was a sweet outfit.
Yeah, Dick
He had a
Miller's
pink
cool
one,
guy.
and the black and white one was nice too. He looked sharp.
Yeah, he's a cool ass dude. Was a cool ass dude. Pour one out for Dickie. They take Jerry's wife's car, which is my favorite of the Chargers, the 2-door slopeback jobber.
This is my least favorite. I like the metal. I don't like the vinyl top ones.
I like the vinyl top ones. I think they look slick.
I like the side windows in the back.
Yeah.
So the vinyl top ones were the ones that came with less juice and then like the family bumpers on them. That's why I don't like those. The metal top ones of the same year were the ones that cooked.
You don't forget that the family bumpers were mandated by the feds. That's regulation in action right there for you Republicans. So all the cars in that year had the family bumpers. Even my car, I've got a Jag in the garage. It's not a nice Jag. It's just a Jag. That has it's from the 90s, and the one you want is the pre-family bumpers because it doesn't have the rubber on them. The old school chrome wraparound ones are the ones you want, but you couldn't. Dodge couldn't control that, Sam.
So I'm starting to have a thought. It's not really related, but every time I start a new gig, you buy something big. The first time I started working after college, you bought the Jag. And now I started another gig and you bought a motorhome. I think this is a trend. I don't know if it's important to the podcast, but I'm thinking it could be a trend. The next time I get another gig, if he buys another big thing like a Canadian tuxedo or a pimp outfit, I'm going to know it's a trend.
Well, the older I get, the whiter I get, so I'm probably going to end up with a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, no, boats suck.
If it's a true trend, this boat will be marginally operable.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
It'll be like super fucking old and need a lot of work. And he's like, we can fix it up together. And I'm like, oh, fuck,
Got
quit
a
buying
good deal on it.
things.
Dude, look at it. It's a tri-hole. It's going to run forever. And we'll use it all the time. Fishing. And then you're going to be like, you hate fishing. And I'm going to be like, I'll like it. And then I won't.
Yeah, just got a little kitchenette in the bottom. Wave goes by. I got bologna in the toilet again. Lunch is ruined.
Okay, so this new Charger, they take it out. I think it's cool. It's even got gold paint, which is like my favorite paint for all cars. Like gold is cool. Unless it's chromey gold, then it sucks. But like chrome metallic or gold metallic is bitching. Orange. Yeah, orange. So they get pulled over for hot dogging, and Truck's like, I told you not to do that, even though Truck totally told him to do it. I thought this scene was pretty fun because he's like, Truck is just being a dick to his buddy.
Yeah. He's just being an ass. And this is also one of those where you notice that they would just get a little creative with some of their shot choices, and they shoot Isaac Hayes through the sunroof in this one.
Yeah, I like that shot.
And it's early, like, this is about the third time that you notice, like, oh, they're just kind of shooting from wherever. They're getting crazy with this.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was like the police officer's POV shot. I did like that.
I did too. And especially when he starts laughing and the cop's like, what are you laughing at?
Right.
He's like, nothing. It's like a little kid had stolen something from your house. Nothing. I might have broken your vase.
So they get to the courthouse. They meet Fogarty. He's got a bounty on this guy called Gator, who happens to be a pimp. Gator's wanted for 3 counts of doing bad guy stuff, but most of it is battery, and one of it was to a father who went to get revenge on him for him beating up his daughter, and instead Gator pinned him down and carved his initials in the guy's face.
He's a very violent pimp.
He's a bad pimp.
Because apparently he lit that chick on fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't do that, can you?
No.
Yeah, it's not good. So they want a big payday. They're like, this guy's dangerous. He's going to be a pain in the ass. He's going to shoot at us. Shooting at us always costs money, even though we're very happy to shoot back. So we'll give you a 2% discount on the we get to shoot at a guy bonus. So they want $1,000 each, which I think is
not
doable. Cheap.
He's like, nope, fuck off. His bond isn't even. I can't. No, I'm upside down already. Sorry.
Right. He
take
can't
it or
do
leave it. $500.
Would you, in 1978's money? What do you think that is? Like $4,000?
About, but yeah, I mean, for
chase after a guy who's going to shoot at you for $4,000, I'm out.
Well, and
he wears shirts with cat piss
on
them.
Okay,
that's true. And his original offer was $250
Right.
for both of them.
Yeah, and according to my
So-
math, that would be like $1,000 in today's money. That's like a week's worth of work for just an average Joe.
Right. So that's like $125 a piece to go track this guy down.
Right.
And then they successfully negotiate up to $1,000 a piece. And then they say, well, don't worry about it because you got the best two beeps on the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, way to fucking knife him a little bit, you know? The guy's a fucking super racist asshole.
Is
And-
he? I thought Dick Miller was playing ball with him pretty nice. I didn't. There was so many people that were being so much more racist that maybe I just didn't notice it.
Right. I'm with Sam. It was a different margin of racism.
Right. But it still felt good that they kind of got him a little bit.
Oh, well, he's an attorney, so, you got to gouge him no matter what, even if he is a public defender. Screw that guy. Actually, I like attorneys. I hate to say it. Defense attorneys. I don't like prosecuting attorneys because...
That's right, because we are related to two.
Nope, it's because I'm probably going to get arrested at some point, and I want to make sure that defense attorneys are on my side.
Exactly. There was one prosecuting attorney that I liked pretty well for about 4 hours after the bar one night, if you know what I mean.
Oh. And then she prosecuted you for bad smells.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah, she was too into it. She was like, here's a guy who's gritty and I'm super drunk. And you know what? I just want to ride. I just want to pay to ride. I want a mustache ride. Here's my 5 cents.
Yep, she said, the only thing I am granting myself a motion to not dismiss that boner.
Try not to overrule it. Like,
It wasn't very hot.
okay. I object to the lack of hotness tonight,
Yep.
lady. All right, so their first stop to go find Gator is a beauty salon where apparently Uhura is... What's Uhura's job? Like, what's her deal?
She's Gator's like lady wife.
She's, pretty much the manager.
They have those?
Yeah.
Yeah, the top of the house, she doesn't sell it anymore. She's basically the accountant and the
Private
sort
pussy
of enforcer.
of
Yeah.
yeah. She's the private pussy of the establishment's pimp.
Okay, so you just kind of work your way up and be like, I get to run you bitches, but I am not getting strangers putting things in my butt anymore.
Or you're just really hot and the pimp doesn't want to share you and you can do math.
You just go straight to the top.
So,
Straight
ladies
to the
and
top.
gentlemen, once again, another public announcement through this movie.
Stay in school.
If you want to be the top pimp's, prized possession,
Right.
learn math.
Yeah. Gets
I mean, that helps. The real part is that you have to be really hot.
really hot. Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
I'm out.
Get-
I would be the bottom bitch.
get real hot, I guess, people.
Yeah.
Or stay in school and away from prostitution.
Yeah, or try that.
Oh, but that's how I paid for school.
Right, exactly. Hey-oh, that's how you pay for this marriage. Whoa! Like, with me, you pay in...
Wouldn't you be
Now,
paying me now?
apparently, you
You're
just
retired.
pay you in barely operable RVs, used cars, and boats that don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just gets freebies from now on. Hey, lady, you want a freebie? And she's like, how about a no-bie?
How about you shower because it's been 4 days? Oh,
Hey, that's coronavirus's fault, not mine. Okay, we got to move on.
you're just saving water.
Right. Yeah, I'm saving water. I'm doing the right thing for the environment. Okay, so despite the green cloud around me. Okay, we got to move on. So she, Nichelle Nichols, is fucking hot. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that outright now.
Fucking hot.
Yeah, I've always
Is this
thought-
Uhura?
Yeah, dude, she's always been
Yes.
a fucking smoke show.
Oh yeah, she is a fox.
Dude, even as an old lady, she is like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
This is one of the only roles she ever did like this, too. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a point where, one, I think she was recruiting for NASA for a while.
Ooh.
But, like, she really out of all of the other Star Trek people, the one that was closest to Gene Roddenberry was her.
Yeah,
She bought
right.
into the whole morality tales and the whole
Right.
thing, and she was out there fucking spreading the word for years.
Oh yeah,
You know, like doing the Star Trek thing.
I think she still does. I think she's still like, she's she's an old lady now, but so she's slowing down a bit. She's not quite as active as Decay, but I think she's still out there fighting the good fight,
Yeah.
justice and truth and the American way and all that shit.
Well, in this one right here, her twins are trying to fight the good fight right out of that shirt, and I like it.
Good God.
Ooh, did you s-
Good God.
Did
The
you
orange
see the
thing
part-
that she's wearing 3/4 of the way through. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the dress with the beads on it. Did you guys notice in a couple of shots when she lifted it up to walk, you could see her crotch?
Jesus, Jackie, you're like 3.
Just saying.
Did you see that guy's balls? They were weird. Okay, all right.
Well, there were no balls in this movie. Spoiler alert.
Right. Okay, so he goes in there and he's like, "Hey, lady, you know anything about this Gator dude?" And she's like, "Get the fuck up out of here."
No, she goes, "Who wants to know?" And he's like, "Me, because I'm asking you." Which was super funny.
She's like, "I'm not telling you shit." So she pushes him out, but he's gonna tail her because immediately she walks out weirdly down the roadway a little bit, and then turns around because she sees a pink Lincoln coming in. And if somebody's driving a pink Lincoln, you know what their job is.
Mary Kay.
It's Mary. No, they drive Cadillacs. It's pimping.
Dude, this Continental is nice.
It
That's
is.
like my favorite year of the Continental, too.
Right.
And it's the shorter. I don't hate the long ones, but that's the shorter one. That's a slick fucking car.
My dad had this car, believe it or not. He didn't have it pink.
Yeah.
It was black. Of course it was black, but
They were 90% of them were black.
right. It's a Ford, so of course it's black. So they chase. Sure enough, it's Gator. So they chase after him. They're driving down the road in the middle of L.A. Truck is driving, and Jerry's standing out of the sunroof of his wife's car, fucking letting lead fly in the middle of fucking goddamn downtown.
It's just out of the sunroof with a Saturday night special. The bullets are barely making it past the hood. That's all
Right.
he's doing. They're just running him over. He cannot hit shit with that gun going 60.
That's why the windshield wipers were going. It was just clearing off lead off the windshield. God damn it, Jerry! I can't see shit. Quit shooting. So Gator is driving in this sequence in his Lincoln, and I don't even know how to describe Gator's driving style, but other than one word, bad.
Bad. We're watching this, and I'm like, man, this guy's doing a really bad job getting away until later when they do a much worse job catching him.
But Gator manages to hit everything
Yes.
he possibly can. It's not just cars are pulling out in front of him and he's dodging in traffic and gets sideswiped here and there. He's steering at all of the obstacles. The fire hydrants, the guys selling bagels out of a fucking baby carriage for some reason. Of course the boxes,
The flower cart.
the poor Asian man in his rickshaw, the two guys walking across the street with a plate of glass who just go back and forth, the pianos that fall out of the sky. I mean, he's hitting it
3 crates
all.
of chickens.
Yeah, right. He's nailing it all. And this fucking Lincoln gets fucked up.
It was like broke my heart immediately. I was like, oh man, they just took the door off that. And then it just got worse.
My
until
favorite is
finally
when
it
the
comes
door
off
just-
the edge of a cliff.
My favorite was when the door just fucking fell off.
Yeah.
And then the other one's flapping in the wind, right?
Right.
And it's like, oh my God.
It's hilarious. This is one of the funniest chase sequences. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's fucking funny and awesome. Eventually they bail out. Eventually he bails out of the Lincoln as it explodes over a berm. Like the trunk blows up out of it because that's where they put all the fucking dynamite. It looks so dumb.
Yeah.
And so now they're chasing him on foot.
They chase him through like a water processing plant.
Right.
And this is when things go south because he doubles back and steals their car.
He steals the Charger. And Jerry's like, shit, my wife's car.
And you're like, oh, that was a bad job, guys.
Right.
He was doing a bad job, but that's much worse.
Yeah.
So then they have to carjack some poor construction worker and make
right.
him try to chase him down in a Dodge pickup.
At gunpoint. At gunpoint. Jackie noticed this, but Sam, did you think that guy might have been Charlie Murphy?
I didn't notice.
Okay. We should have dug deeper into that because he looked a lot like Charlie Murphy.
And he was being funny in the
Timeline's
same
right.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, is that Eddie Murphy's dad?
Yeah, well, Charlie Murphy's his brother. But.
Charlie Murphy, whatever. His brother.
Is that Eddie Murphy's Charlie Murphy?
Yeah. It's Schmarley Schmurphy. So Truck starts shooting at the fucking Charger. He's like, be careful, man. Be careful. That's my wife's car. He's like, I'm just going to shoot out the radiator. It ain't that big of a deal. Gator stops. He skid stops, runs into a bar, throws a bunch of money up in the air and says, $50 to the guy who beats up the next two cops that run in here, and runs out the back, which is Truck and Jerry.
And he's doing
Yeah.
the classic pimp run, too, where he's got the
Yeah.
little bit of a fancy limp,
Uh-huh.
and he's still kind of walking like he's got a hot dog stuck up his butt.
Right?
Yeah.
What it is that he hasn't actually run in 14 years. And he's not like got a bad leg or anything like that, but he's got those weird cramps that you get
Uh-huh.
in your stomach and your butt if you haven't run for 14 years.
Pimpin'
And
ain't
so
for
he's just having
running.
to rub. Yeah, pimping ain't easy, especially not if you got to run from a couple of skip tracers.
So they come into this bar that's got a pool table in it, and everybody just piles on them, and then Truck and Jerry proceed to whip a bunch of ass. Like a bunch of ass.
This is the point where you're like, oh, I see what these two guys are good at. The tracking, the trapping. I mean, fuck, they got distracted watching a car go off of a cliff when they
Right.
could have just captured him.
Right.
That led to them getting their own car stolen. But then you're like, oh, these guys are just blunt force. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, they whip so much ass in here. At one point, the fight is winding down, and Truck takes a cue ball and stuffs it into a guy's mouth, implying to me that that man has no more teeth.
He doesn't have teeth left.
And this is when the fight is winding down.
Yeah.
They beat so much fucking ass in here. It's crazy.
But then they cut back after this big bar fight, right, to the guys in the bar.
Mhm.
And he's like, if I would have known that was Truck, I would have asked for more money
Right.
because I know who that guy is.
Yeah, shit.
And I got my
man.
ass
50
kicked.
bucks? $50? Fuck that.
It's going to cost me $150 just to get this fucking scar on my face stitched up.
Yeah, exactly.
The dry cleaning bills you can only imagine.
Right.
Such a thing Truck Turner himself doesn't have to worry about.
Right,
He just
yeah.
wears cat
Everybody
piss
else
around
does
town.
that gets in a fight with him because now they got cat piss on them too. Cat piss transfer.
Maybe that's part of his like whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get close to him and your eyes start burning. You're like, man, you get pissed on by a cat? And then
Ew.
he just beats the crap out of you.
You're
Like, wait,
icky.
stop. You smell nasty. Quit
That's
beating me.
gross. All right, so they go and meet the Duke, who is Scatman Carruthers. And I'm guessing he's a retired pimp. Is that what everybody's picking up on?
Yeah, he's a retired pimp.
Is he in a retirement home, or do you think that
Oh,
is
no,
his home?
that's his-
Because
That's
That's
his.
his
he has
that's
a
his
nice plantation type home there.
Right.
And the ladies, and maybe he's still a pimp because he's still got
No,
at least two
He
ladies
just kept
there.
his favorites. He's
Yeah.
now a polygamist.
Right, he's pimping himself.
Ah, okay.
out
Well,
to-
he likes mint julep.
Yeah, right. No, he's got it made. And it seems like the Duke is kind of like the people's pimp. He's not a pimp out for himself. He's like the popular pimp. Everybody loves this pimp.
Bishop Don Magic Wand.
He's the Robin Hood of pimps. Like, yeah, I'm going to
like
take care of the neighborhood.
Bishop Don Magic. Is it Magic Wand Bishop Don? Something like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Don Juan?
No, there was that American
Donnie Brasco?
pimp documentary made in the early 2000s, and there was one guy that was seriously like, Yeah, I didn't really do any of that bad stuff, and everybody loves me. He probably did some bad stuff. He was a pimp, for God's sakes.
Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wasn't him?
His name was Bishop Don Magic Juan.
Bishop Don Magic Huang?
You got it, Juan.
Like,
Juan, Juan.
like, this is the Magic Juan.
Yes, exactly.
Come over
Bishop
here and
Don
get on this
Magic
Magic Juan.
Yes.
That is a fucking clever ass name.
You have to have a pimp name too.
No
if you're gonna
shit.
wear that shit, you gotta. It has to come out of every piece of you.
Right.
That's why pimping ain't easy.
So he's like, so what's the deal with this Gator guy? He's like, well, he's a real bad guy. But what I heard on the street is that there's another pimp named Harvard Blue who wants to start a civil war with Gator because he doesn't like the way Gator does his business. So go find him, I guess. But
He just hates Gator and he wants to move drugs and hookers and he likes Gator's stable is apparently the envy of the rest of the pimp community in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't begin to guess why.
They're all pretty hot.
They're all pretty not L.A. hooker-esque streetwalkers. I mean, they're pretty hot.
Yeah, I went down. I've been down Sunset.
Yeah.
Late at night on a Saturday, and they don't look like
It's not
that.
good. No, these aren't hoes. These are escorts. I mean, that's the one flaw in this movie. These ladies are too hot. So anyway, with the one flaw. So they find this guy in this alley who's a bum, and it's like, oh, I know a guy who works for Gator. Go get him. They go and get the guy for Gator that works for him, and they're like, okay, call him outside of his house. We're going to use you as bait to bring him out so that we can take him down nice and peacefully. So he's like, shut the fuck up. Why are you calling me at my girlfriend's house? Are you kidding me? You shouldn't be calling me here. I know this is a setup. And they're like, God damn it. Run up there. They both got guns drawn. Gator starts shooting at him. It goes poorly for everybody, but mostly for Gator because he just gets blasted away by both of them in the long run.
And then we get the weirdest fucking shot I think I've ever seen of a way too skinny lady with fake boobs.
Uh-huh.
And it is weird looking. It's like these two silicone
No,
bags.
those are real.
You think?
No.
Yeah, this is before they could do them that nice. Just time doesn't nail it. There's a lot of weird looking real boobs out there. Don't worry about it.
It was weird. It looked like two fucking
doesn't-
rocks underneath her boobs that were just like, wow, wow.
Yeah, no, I thought they were fake boobs too. See?
Yeah,
they were a couple of Easter
there's-
Westers.
They could be, but there's weird boobs out there that are normal, and they're just the timeline doesn't add up. And she was because I thought it was Sandra Locke at first, so I had to look her up, and she was a nudie magazine lady, and those are not fake.
And she said,
Wow.
Everybody asked me if my boobs are fake from that scene in Truck Turner where they got weird looking.
Let's
but it turns
just
out
say
that they're not.
my research was exhaustive, and I saw several images that fake boobs don't do what hers were doing.
Okay, all right. Could you?
But yeah, she was in slow motion and she was running weird. So they were just in. It was like when you get like you're getting in the wind tunnel and your face does weird things. That's what her boobs were doing in this shot.
Okay, that's how fast she was. She's a very fast
she's
runner.
Lightning fast. She's on so much cocaine, they couldn't even keep her shirt on her.
Right, man. We didn't call for nudity. Oh, let's just keep the cameras going. Okay. So she runs out and knifes Jerry. And
Yeah.
she knifes him in a way that seems like Jerry's not going to make it. But in the next scene, Jerry is A-okay.
It
Did
ends up like
you-
in the top of his shoulder.
Right.
Is it just me, or is she clearly holding a knife in the shot before she stabs him and when she stabs him, and then it cuts to him having a giant pair of butcher scissors sticking out?
Yes.
Right.
I noticed that too. And I was like, what the hell?
What happened here? How did she fuck that up? Because nobody saw her coming or was too slow to stop her. She could have killed Jerry, and instead she stabbed him with a knife that isn't a knife. And he gets an arm sling. That's the damage she did.
Yeah, but they didn't even really. He might have just done that for looks and attention,
Right.
because they don't even go to the hospital. They just go straight to the bar.
So, do you think this is a Magic of the Gathering type thing? Is Magic of the Gathering, is that a thing right now?
No.
Magic
Where he's
of
like-
the Gathering.
Magic of the Gathering. Yes.
Your knife turns into a butcher shop scissors.
You mean Dungeons and Dragons?
Whatever.
No.
Magic
it's totally
the
different thing.
Gathering?
Yeah, whatever. You know, those Magic games.
Magic is a card game. You don't get to wing it and say, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Dungeons and Dragons, you get to do that.
Knife scissors.
Right.
The transformation.
Right. Yeah.
It's a card that you get. It's really nice, so you have to put it in plastic.
My guy's got knife scissor power. It's a thing. Level 27. Plus it's electrified, so I
Yeah.
hope you don't have shock weakness.
Or a pacemaker.
Dragon. Excuse me.
Dragon with a pacemaker?
Excuse me, Mr. Dragon. Do you have a pacemaker? Because I would like to use a superpower on you if you do.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do have the pacemaker dragon card, and I have right here a blood clot. Anyway,
Okay, sorry.
so
It's shaped like pork ribs.
they go and pick up the payment from Dick Miller. They go straight to the bar, get drunk. He forgets
Right.
to pick up his girlfriend. They have some lottie-daws. Sorry about that, honey. He makes it up to her by buying her a small box of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, it's
and letting her
hilarious.
eat it
You are
by
underselling the
herself.
scene.
No, I'm going to sell the best part of the scene. Because he only lets her eat about half of a chicken leg before he decides to put the moves on her.
Right.
He doesn't even let her finish one chicken leg.
She's like,
And-
where the fuck were you? And he's like, I got a 6-pack. And she's like, that's not enough. All you're going to try to do is get me drunk and then bang me. He's like, all right, well, how about we go out to dinner first? And then they show up at his apartment with KFC.
It's not with KFC. She gets a small box. He didn't want any. He's already drinking.
A 6-pack of beer. And then it's like, all right, let's do it. You called
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
You knew what was going to happen.
She got half of her chicken leg. And I wrote down this note where I was like, man, let her wash her hands first.
Right.
Because it gets really greasy. It's going to get all over you. But then I think, oh, maybe that's part of his other plan where she puts his hands on his chest and it does a little something about that cat piss.
Right. Yeah, it's the grease. Grease gets that. That's the only way to get rid of it.
Meanwhile, Francis the cat is eyeing that chicken leg like, how long before I can make my
Right.
move on that chicken leg while you guys are humping?
Do you
I'll
think
just wait.
Francis is one of the Morrises?
Might
Kind
be.
of does look
Yeah.
like a meow
Kinda-
mix.
Yeah, kind of.
Kinda cat.
Might be. The next day is a funeral for a pimp, and it is total bullshit.
I loved it.
Yeah, because I have a question here. I'm going to burn all my questions before the end. Do pimps go to each other's funerals? Or do they hate each other?
I don't.
But I guess we kind of covered this in because of the pimp Taylor and the truce, that
yeah, but
holy
that truce
sacred
only applies
ground.
at the Taylors.
But because you know each other from the Taylor, it's like, oh man, he died. Well, you know what? That motherfucker was a snappy dresser, and he made up a cool name. I'm going to go to his funeral.
Okay, let's put it in comic book terms, because everything pimps are basically supervillains that don't have
Yeah.
powers. They're very similar in motive and idiom, as it were. So let's say the Vulture dies. The death of the Vulture would, I mean, you don't got nothing really against him. You guys did team up that one time for the Sinister Six thing. So, the Green Goblin, is he going to go? Norman Osborn? Probably not. But maybe
No.
like the Shocker, who's also is the name of a pimp. Vulture's probably also the name of a pimp. And let's see who else we got. Doc Ock, he's not going to show up. He's got other things going on. But all those low-level guys. So Yaffett Cotto showing up there, his character motivation in the scene is right because he's not there to show up for Gator. He's there to spit on Gator's grave. That's the only reason why he's there. But all those other low-level guys, yeah. Middle ground.
They admired his flair and his style. They're going to try to pick up some table scraps. Yaffett Cotto shows up, and Harvard Blue is just peacocking all over that fucking place.
Yeah. Venom's not going to show up, but the Sandman is, Hydro Man, all those guys, those shitty guys that Spider-Man can whip their ass. Yeah, he's going to do that. So, yeah, I buy it. I think it works.
All right.
For a pimp, yeah.
Well,
not
and
to
you
mention
gotta-
it's the day you get to dress up again. Like,
yeah, and you get to show off your best hose.
Right. Yeah, actually, funeral for a pimp seems like a pretty sweet day. I mean, other than that, like, oh, he was a hell of a pimp. Like, that guy would pimp and pimp and pimp, and I will miss his pimping.
Yeah. Well, there's that, and then there's 10 minutes after they all start drinking, and it turns into a fucking
Bloodbath.
bloodbath. Hookers pulling each other's hair out,
Oh, no.
knives fucking everywhere.
It's like a Dothraki wedding. If less than 2 people die, it wasn't a very good one.
Yeah.
All right, so Yaffett Cotto shows up. Sure enough, he's Howard Blue, and all he does is spit on Gator's grave while giving the stink eye to Nichelle Nichols the whole time. It's pretty sweet. So she's super pissed. Miranda is pissed. She's like, God damn it, my man is dead. My meal ticket, but probably not because apparently I'm better at pimping than he was.
She's been pinching the purse the whole time. He can't do math.
He can't do math.
She's got the math on these hookers off the top of her head, apparently.
Right.
Well, she's been pinching the person more than one way, Sam.
Ooh. The people's purse?
The pimp purse and the pimp's purse.
Right. The old peanut purse. The
Where the peanuts are made.
the pickle
The
pocket.
peanut, not the pickle purse, the peanut purse.
The peanut purse, not the pickle purse. She's like, you want to get down? Pinch.
Whoa!
Does that turn you on? I want to pinch your little peanut purse.
Pinch your little balls. You like that?
Yeah, nobody likes that.
They're so little. I just want to pinch them.
You want to pinch your wiener? Let's see.
Public service announcement. There's really only so many things, though. Ladies out there on the podcast, that there's only so much attention balls like. Error on the side of caution. Just leave them alone.
I'll pinch your little balls.
Pinch you right in the nut.
They're so small. I'm going to get them. You like it? No, stop calling them so small. I can't help it. They're small.
Also, I'm now going to vomit because you squeezed a testicle.
What the shame. Stop shaving my balls. Okay. So she's like, all right, I've had enough of this shit. I'm having a meeting of the pimps, and I'm taking over, and I'm offering a big-ass bounty to whoever can take out Truck Turner. What's the bounty? Oh, it's my stable of hoes.
But it's like, she's got them fucking, these assholes are fucked up too, except for Yaffett Cotto, who later comes back with an actual mathematic negotiation.
Uh-huh.
Because she spits out all these numbers, and then she was like 50% of what, you know, she's got some sort of graduated scheme where it's like 50% of whatever I decide to give you.
Right.
And also you killed some guy, and then I'm probably going to put a contract out on you, and then your hookers are going to like me better anyway, and I'm going to be rich as fuck.
Right. Yeah, no shit, huh? They're all like, yeah, we like these hoes. Let's get these hoes. So, meanwhile, Truck is out on a date with this old lady. He's telling her to get a job. And she's like, oh, fuck you, Truck, you son of a bitch, but I love you anyways. The first pimp shows up. He sees him. He shoots out the groceries, but then Truck blasts him.
Okay, wait, no,
All right.
he shoots him square in the chest.
Oh, yeah.
A bag of groceries is blocking him.
Right.
I know what kind of milk it is. Vitamin B for bulletproof.
And then Jackie, this is the first of the series of Take That Ben Kingsley's, because this guy, when he dies, wow.
He dances
sucks.
back. Like,
Yeah.
and then he gets shot again, and he's like, and he does this little dance, and then he falls down. I'm like, nobody who is dying starts dancing in the street.
Whoa, and then falls on his back. It's pretty awesome. He goes home. Blue's in his apartment. He's like, I'm giving you a warning, sucker.
Well, he's petting Francis, so we know now
Right.
that Francis has now become his whore.
Oh.
And Francis will now up his peeing time to twice
Yeah,
a day.
that's how you know you're a good pimp, is any pussy you touch is automatically yours.
Right.
Yep.
Right. The next morning, he lets Francis out, but there's a gunman on the fire escape. And they get into a gunfight, but truck blasts him on the roof. And there's another guy in the stairs. He blasts him down the stairs. That guy, I like the second guy's death pretty good. It's not quite Ben Kingsley worthy.
He falls down the stairs and he's like,
I thought he was okay.
Yeah, he totally seems like he's okay. He's making
shot me
sounds.
in the arm type thing, but then he's dead.
Yeah, he died. Well, everybody else is gut shot. They're not going to die for a while.
Right.
This guy's actually shot in the sternum. He's not going to make it very long.
But he's like, I'll get away from you. I'll come back for you, truck turner. And then the next shot, he's fucking dead as shit.
Yeah.
So Blue tells Duranda, her name's Duranda, we should mention, Nichelle Nichols' character, that he'll kill Truck for some deal on the hose. Did you figure out what the deal was, Sam? Why was it smarter?
So he made his own bullshit deal too, because she was like 50% of whatever I decide to give you. And then he was like 30%, and then the insurance company. And they're like, deal.
Wait, so she's like, I'll pay you 50%, and he's like, no, you'll pay me 30.
25.
He made his own deal of the deals don't make sense.
And I'll pay for the insurance company.
Yes.
Okay.
But then he has a side deal with the eye patch guy that they're basically, he's just going to smack Nichelle Nichols down and make her his bitch or whatever. And then he's going to get half the money, and then the other guy gets half the money, but he has to worry about running the show still.
Okay, so basically if Blue can kill Truck Turner, it's just easy money. Like, he doesn't have to do anything afterwards.
Yeah.
He can go to Reno.
He's just going on a long recruiting trip. He's just rounding up more hookers.
Oh, I just, play the slots, man. Reno.
Play the slots.
Biggest little city in the world.
He's been playing the slots the whole time, man.
Yeah. Okay. You guys are fucking perverts. All right. So she says, okay, goes with it. And Blue's like, all right, I'm calling in the insurance company. The insurance company is those guys with suitcases that have guns in them from Desperado. They're pros.
Yeah.
They're pros.
One of them's Joe Dante and the other one's Al Green. I didn't catch the other two names.
Al Green makes sense, but why is Joe Dante's not working yet?
Oh, no. That'll be on this. He's already in the office at Corman, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
So he probably, it was like a little kick down, but.
Yeah, like, hey, Joey Blue Skies. We like your style.
I'm sure that
you to Al Green.
I'm sure that Kaplan is friends with him. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a weird shout out. Anyways,
especially later when Joe Dante dies in the most indignant fashion ever, where he doesn't even lift his gun to shoot back.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, "Oh, you put me in the movie." He's like, "Yeah, you're not gonna like it."
All right. So first they go to Truck's office. They get Nate, and they tell him to call Truck. They beat the shit out of Nate, unfortunately. And he tries to warn Truck, like, hey, just get out of here, man. Don't worry about me. And Truck is too fucked up. He can't do anything. He's been drinking all night. He's like, shit, man, I don't know what the hell's going on. He calls Jerry. Jerry's like, oh, dude, Truck, it's like 3 a.m, man. I just got done banging my lady. And Truck's like, fuck, I'm fucked up, man. Nate just called me. I cannot drive. Go check up on him. Well, I'm fucked up too. Yeah, I don't care about that part. Just go check on him. Okay.
Mm.
So Jerry goes down there. He doesn't even get to knock on the door. They blow the fuck away out of Jerry.
You're like, whoa, not Jerry. And it sucks for the emotional impact that what they did is just put like a rag doll in front of a door and hit it with a half a stick of dynamite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it looks hilarious.
It looks hilarious.
It looks great.
When Jerry got stabbed, my reaction was, no, Jerry! Like, that was dramatic.
Yeah.
But when Jerry gets blown away, I'm like,
yeah. So much so that you're like, whoa, that was bad, W. And then, you see Jerry, and they cut to a shot of him bleeding out and still breathing. And you're like, I would feel a lot worse about you, Jerry, if you weren't hilarious when you die.
Right? He's like gargling blood and stuff. Like, Jerry gives a pretty dramatic death. But whoever chose to blow up a stunt dummy chose poorly. It's so so dumb when Jerry gets shot. Anyways, so now Truck's pissed. He's like, oh, fuck. And Yaffett Cotto's like, you guys don't know what you've done. The beast has been awoken. Sleeping lions, blah, 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 blah. The juice is loose.
No. Yes, he is. Then we should be afraid.
We should be afraid. Speaking of the juice, did you see on Twitter the
Yeah,
juice?
no.
Okay.
No. No. Hard pass. I did.
Well,
We're not
yeah.
talking about that.
Screw you.
We're
There's
going
another
over. We're
person
not
on
talking
the
about
podcast.
Red Bull
Jackie,
James.
did you see what the juice said this week?
No.
He's like, man, I know Carol Baskin killed her husband. Oh, shut the fuck up, OJ. You shut your fucking mouth.
Oh my god. Calling the kettle black there.
Fuck OJ. I mean, like, what the fuck, man? We still live on the planet with OJ. We have to share this world with OJ. What has happened? Okay, so anyways, so Trek goes back and visits Nate in the hospital, and he's like, oh, man, you know who it was? And Nate's like, I heard it was some guy named Blue. And so Truck's like, oh, shit, I know what's going on now. The cops show up and tell Truck to stay out of it. Like, hey, man, if this guy jumps bail, it's your call. But until things happen like that, it's our business. And Truck's like, yeah, sure, I'm not going to get involved. I kind of thought the cops were going to get back involved, like arrest him, maybe delay him a little bit for getting involved in murdering people. But they don't. Like, why even have the scene?
There's not even police in this movie other than the guy that pulls him over for driving too fast in a very nice neighborhood.
Right.
The cops are completely unpresent in every other neighborhood.
Yeah. They go back home, him and Annie. They open up the door. The place is trashed. The Nazis have been in there looking for the Grail diary. And sadly, Francis didn't make it.
I think
This was
Francis
fucked
made
up.
it because they can't hang a cat by it. Was like his arms were in there and he was he was on some lewds, but if they just untie him, he's okay. Also, how long did that take? The insurance company?
Right.
Because grabbing a cat that doesn't want to be grabbed, not so easy.
Right, exactly.
Not so easy.
Grab the cat, Al! I can't, Joe!
I'm surprised one of them didn't accidentally get shot collaterally trying to catch the cat.
Right. There's just bodies everywhere, and they come back, and Francis is just looking up a pool of blood, like, what the fuck happened in here?
Or that they even went inside. Because it is known by this point that Francis is just allowed to piss wherever.
Right.
So what really happened is they walked in, opened the door, and said, nope, we'll find him somewhere else. That place smells like cat piss.
Ugh! Gross! So Truck sees that they're still being tailed, and he's like, this lady's not going to go away. I can't get rid of her. She's in this too much. She's a hell of a partner, so I only got one choice. Get her arrested.
Good thing Clinton wasn't the president right now, huh?
Oh. Why?
Because he was a 3 strikes you're out guy. She would have been.
Oh, yeah.
She would have gone. She would have gone to San Quentin for 10 years over fucking 2 bottles of perfume and a dress.
Right. I think it's a good call. I think it's a good strategy. I think your old lady's got to forgive you if you get her locked up to save her life. You know, it's only. I mean, it's 2 bottles of cologne. You know, it might be what, 10 days, 15 days in the clink.
Yeah, why other women beat the shit out of me and rape me and force me to do
she
things I
looks
don't
like
want to
she
do.
can
Or
hold
do.
her own. She's a tough broad.
Yeah.
She's also hot as hell. So
Yeah,
maybe she
and-
maybe you know.
She's
fight
gonna
over
have
her,
that
right?
mud pit thing later, so that's gonna be fun, right?
I would know more if they let me in and check it out.
Right. I'm the shower. That lady from The Exorcist is gonna be there. She's gonna have huge boobs. I mean, it's gonna be fine. You eventually bust out, all you topless ladies. It's fine. Lady Prison's hot. It's not bad. It's always hot.
Yeah, Orange is the New Black. Slander.
Yeah, right.
Slander.
I know what it's really like. It's
Shame on those producers for taking the hotness out of female prisons.
the truth. All right.
Caged heat, that's the truth.
Yep. All right, so Truck's got rid of her for a little bit. He goes to Desmond's place, who is the eye patch pimp. And Desmond's like, I'm not telling you shit. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to smash your statue. I'm not telling you shit. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to stick this 45-inch barrel into this lady's mouth. And he's like, oh, shit, I really like these ladies. Please don't hurt them.
Not a very pimp move.
Not a very pimp move. We're going to come back to that. Blue's up at the house at the end of the street. Okay, see you later. So he goes up there to Blue's house. The insurance company is walking around all over the property, implying that Blue is inside because what the fuck are they doing there? Is it a trap? I don't know, but they're definitely not protecting Blue because Blue's not even home. Truck sneaks her in and just starts blowing these dudes away. They're all dead.
Is it a trap? He comes up the driveway.
Right.
If it was a trap, they forgot to look in the one place they should. The driveway.
He'll never come up the driveway. That's not his style.
It's a Hills house. You can't really get up anywhere but the driveway. You'd have like over 10 fences on somebody's roof. It would be a disaster.
Al, you cover the back. Joe, you cover the sewers. I'll cover the television.
Yeah. That's what the Joe Dante character is, just in the living room, leaning up against a shotgun like it's a shovel and he's a state worker.
Right. So Blue wasn't there. Truck goes back to the hospital and is like, hey, Nate, here's the deal, dude. These guys might be coming for you. Here's a little piece for you. Gives him a handgun. Right then, conveniently, Blue shows up and bullets start flying everywhere in this hospital. There's like surgeries going on. There's bullets flying past doctors' faces. There's a lady spitting out a kid.
They're into the doctors' faces.
Right.
Only medical personnel is shot in this gunfight.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing, like, they're not even, at one point, Yaffett Cotto stops shooting at Truck Turner, and he just starts shooting medical professionals because they're easier targets.
Right. Like, there's a guy in there who's like, all right, finally, we've got the guy. We're going to draw his blood. He's got the cure for all of the disease. And then his brains come out the back.
Yeah. He actually runs into an orderly, and the guy falls down, and he looks down and then just shoots the guy before backing into a stairwell like, yeah, eat shit. I'm just going to kill every employee of this hospital on my way out. I've decided.
My favorite is when he pushes the kid in the wheelchair over that's already got a head trauma and a broken leg, and he falls over and hits his head on a bench. I'm like,
Shaggy laughed forever.
I laughed so hard. I think I probably missed the next 2-3 minutes of the gunfight because I was just like, did you see that?
That's terrible. It's almost as terrible as the joke as I'm about to tell, because he grabs a small child to use as a human shield.
Uh-huh.
And the child's like, oh, sorry, I'm terminal in the next 2 days. He's like, well, just don't tell Truck Turner that.
I was kind of hoping that Truck Turner would come out of his room with an old lady.
Right. A Truxican standoff. Pop quiz, hotshot. What do you do? Shoot my hostage?
They both shoot their own hostage, and you're like, oh, fuck, we are back to square one. Oh, shit.
We don't get math. We should have paid attention like the prostitutes did.
Yeah.
The more you know. Ding. All right, so eventually Yaffett Cotto gets shot in the leg. He's got a bad knee. He's hobbling away. Truck walks outside, shoots him in the back, and then Yaffett Cotto takes forever to die.
It's not necessarily all his decision, though.
Oh, it's beautiful. This is one of my favorite on-screen deaths.
Yeah, in fact, my note isn't, because you already said take it, Ben Kingsley. Like, it's not take that, Ben Kingsley. It's eat a large, heaping and steaming bowl of shit, Ben Kingsley.
One order for Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Kingsley, are you here? Your order's ready. I didn't order anything. Oh, I'm afraid you did.
Yes, you did.
Duty.
It's duty. But beyond, and I
Ring,
wish.
ring. Hello, Ben Kingsley here. Mr. Kingsley. Special delivery.
I wish I knew whose decision
Hello.
it was.
Gosh.
I'm Ben Kingsley.
Sir Ben Kingsley. All right, Sir Ben Kingsley. Here's a bowl of shit.
All right, sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
But the long death, what I'm thinking is that when they were doing it, it played long. Yaffett Cotto's kind of hamming it up a little bit, making it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaplan just decides, you know what? I'm going to play this thing out. Because they do the, camera in front of the face. This death is amazing. It takes so long.
You know more about camera work than I do, Sam, obviously. But how
That wasn't a rig.
popular was the Steadicam before this?
This was handheld. This
You
was
think?
a handheld Aeroflex. Yeah, they didn't.
Okay.
I've seen them do it because there's a 35 millimeter camera at this point. There was small enough to do a lot of the handheld work that they did.
So Yaffett Cotto is the photographer in this scene.
No, you just get real close, use a wide angle lens, and then you just mimic the movement of the actor as much as you can. You can tell because Darren Aronofsky is famous for inventing a rig, even though there's others that were like it that happened before. But basically what it was it was like a Steadicam vest, but then it would put the camera pointed right back at the actor from the vest from the Steadicam, and so they'd run around.
Smack my bitch up. Take
Yeah.
my picture.
Exactly, and so they'd run around, and their body is completely stationary in the shot, but then everything else is super jittery.
Right.
And they've done it with helmets and everything else, and
I
this
just
isn't
don't know
that.
if
You
I
can tell
I
that
can't-
because the camera and the lens focus and the head are moving around a little independently, and so you can tell it's just somebody with a camera doing a really good job. But they didn't actually build any rigs for any of this, I don't think. And there was some sidewalk stuff that could have been just people backing up holding the camera because the sidewalk was too rough for a track. They're not going to put metal stuff down on there. So I think they just did a lot of handheld work in this.
Yeah, it's just not a very popular shot before, say, the early 90s. And I tip of the hat to Truck Turner for having this shot in it. So, anyways.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of these. Larry Cohen did some really amazing, influential stuff, early blaxploitation. There's a lot of really good stuff that comes out of these movies. That's why I got addicted to them about 10 years ago, or more like 20 years ago. I just started watching the shit out of these things, and I couldn't stop.
Right. Well, we'll get there. Maybe I'll make it run a 6. I mean, there's enough, right? Anyways, so I got other shit to get to, but we'll do 3. Anyways, so he's dead. He eventually gets into his car and tries to drive away, but he dies mid sitting there. So Truck goes to Doranda's place, and he's like, "Get out of town, lady. I don't know why I'm trying to not kill you suddenly, because you're the lady at the top of the heap that tried to kill me."
See, this is the only
Get on
part
outta
of this movie I don't really like. Because I think the perfect end here is she just gives him a bunch of fucking money and says thank you.
Right.
Because she didn't like any of them, and now she's the
Right.
queen bitch of LA, and he's like,
Right.
you know what? I'm fine with that. That's
Right.
a perfect ending to me.
I agree. I think this whole scene's really weird because he's just like, get the fuck out of here. Wait, why would I leave? What the fuck? No, what? None of this makes sense. But she pulls a gun on him, and he shoots her in the tummy, and she dies.
See, and I think he was just there to steal some dresses for his lady.
Right.
She's getting out of prison. She needs some new
They
clothes.
don't
These do
wear
not
the
fit in the
same-
bra.
Yeah, no, she doesn't fill those ones out the same way.
Or the butt. Later, he goes to pick up Annie at prison because now she's getting out. We don't know how long she was in there before. And he has a new Frances as a bribe, and she's like, "Aw, kitty!"
And it is pissed on a shirt in her seat. So she just slides on in and sits in cat piss.
Of course.
Because, at this point, it's just normal. The cat is pissed on everything.
Right. And they
He
hit the
doesn't
highway.
Yeah, they drive for hours and end up settling in Van Nuys.
Yeah, right. San Bernardino. All right, who's got any questions?
Why is Nichelle Nichols so hot? It's uncanny. I don't like. It's just wow.
Now, I have nothing but respect for her. And so it's not me that's saying this question, but it totally is. And I've drank a pretty stout Bloody Mary, so I'm trying to struggle my way through this. I know why she's famous, and it's not because she's hot. It's because she's extremely talented. She's very savvy, and some of it's right place, right time, and knowing the right people and, relationship work. But how much of her Star Trek business was like, dude, you're smoking hot. Let's put you in this. Like, was Star Trek like a little sexist?
I don't think so. Because she talked about that, and they did do the sexy, but again, with her relationship,
they did the sexy,
she was
Sam.
They did
Nobody
the sexy.
has any clothes on in that show.
But the thing is that they dressed her down.
Yeah, they
could have
probably
dressed
taped
her
them
up,
down.
and then she had talked about it in an interview that I was watching that she requested that. And then again, she's very close to Gene Roddenberry. She's like, I don't want my sexy to be the focus of my character. And he's like, cool. I like that you said that.
I like that she said that because she's great.
Yeah, and that, later on in her career, she decided, okay, you guys want to see it once? I'm going to do Truck Turning, and you're going to see it, and we're going to be like, what the fuck?
What the fucking shit? Actually, I think I picked up on it because I didn't see Truck Turner until I was probably 20-ish. But I did see Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
And Star Trek 4, I think, was the time where I realized Uhura was deadly hot.
when she's 60 doing a burlesque dance, and you're like, Grandma just gave me a massive erection. Like a massive erection.
60, dude. Are you kidding me? She wasn't 60. That would
she's
imply
like
that
50.
she's 102 right now.
102, yeah. She was not
Star Trek
young.
4 was a long time ago, man.
But she was like the same age as my grandma. And she made
30.
She made 3 bathroom breaks the first time I saw that movie, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's great, man. I love her. I love the fact that look, mommy, there's a black lady on TV who's not doing the housework. That line is just fucking sticks with me forever. Jackie, question?
I burned all mine.
Okay. Sam, you got any more?
No, I used all of them in the episode.
Okay. I'm gonna chuck down one more because my first initial question was who's your favorite pimp, but then I knew Jackie would steal that at the beginning of the episode because I know her ways. But let's go back and say, after a little bit of analysis in this film, who's the least douchey character in this film?
The eye patch guy, because he
It's
doesn't
the
get a
eye patch
chance.
guy.
He doesn't get a chance to be a douche, and he saves a life.
What does he do that's bad? He doesn't shoot at anybody.
Rubber Duck's not bad. Actually, Rubber Duck is the least douchey.
Well, yeah, no, Nate's okay.
Francis.
But
Francis is a cat.
Eye patch guy
pisses
is
on Truck Turner's shirt all the time. That's totally douchey. Not as douchey as wearing that shirt afterwards.
I'm gonna go with eye patch guy because he's in the toughest spot. He looks fucking cool. He's in the world of pimping, and seems like a pretty okay guy. He shows up to a funeral in a cool car. He's dressed nice. He doesn't say anything mean to anybody. He's a very agreeable guy. He works with Blue, who thinks that Gator doesn't do business right, even though he's like, yeah, Gator's like, I'm gonna kill a guy. Desmond's like, I'm not really interested in that. I'm just gonna hang out with my hoes. And I'm not going to insult their intelligence or their sexuality or disrespect them in any way. I care about these women. And if you step to me and put a gun in their mouth, I will instantly give up the deets on my friend.
Sure. But at the same time, I will make them go out into the streets and sell their bodies on a regular basis.
I'm not
and
making
then
them. They
take
did
all that money.
They did say, hey, I like Dick so much that I would like to make money off of Dick.
No, he's a bad
Can
guy.
you help me with that? And he's like, I've never really had any experience with that, but it seems like it's a good business model. So I'll try. You know, if you like dick that much, sure. That's your choice, lady. If I'll help you.
He's third place behind Rubber Duck and then Dick Miller's character.
Jackie?
Bail bondsman guy.
Okay. All right. Nate's the least douchey guy in this film. I tried Desmond, but pimps just can't be redeemed, I guess.
Also, during the shootout in the hospital, he didn't shoot any of the medical personnel on purpose.
Right?
Yeah, true.
All right, final recommendations. I'm going to go first. Absolutely. I fucking love Truck Turner, dude. This is one of my favorite movies. I fucking love this movie. It's badass. It's dumb as shit. It's cool. All the costumes are cool. All the cars are cool. Everybody's fucking cool. It's blaxploitation in a nutshell for me. The music is fucking great. And it's just badass. I love this movie. Jackie?
I'm also going to give it a do. I really liked it. I thought the adventure part of it was really good. And it really does keep pace. It keeps moving. It's got some funny scenes in it, like when that kid gets pushed over in the wheelchair. And some corny jokes. That
Funny
you're like,
if you're Jackie.
Wah, wah. And I agree with you. Costumes were fucking rad. And the soundtrack was rad. So definitely a do.
Sammy?
Yeah, it's a do. And it's... earlier this week, I had asked you what your picks were going to be, just because I wanted to see where you were going to kind of go, and we're going to be off of the main list for these blaxploitation movies that are all really fun to watch, and I think that's one of the things in the genre that gets lost is that they got kind of pinned in these sort of classic. What was a better way to put it? Like when people are making reviews of them, or the classic critique, like Superfly doesn't have a lot of mistakes in it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of the movies that don't have a lot of mistakes in it, or it has more charisma, better actors. That's fine. Maybe it is a better movie, quote unquote, but it's not as much fun as fucking this one is. Right. And it's like, a lot of people say Black Caesar with Fred Williamson. Great movie. You should watch Black Caesar. Hell Up in Harlem, not as good. It's not as good as a movie. It's 3 times as much fucking fun.
Right.
And that's where this whole thing needs to be looked at again, I think, because I've been watching these for a while now, and it's like, you go on the internet and you start looking up these lists of blaxploitation pictures, and the best ones are always at the bottom, and it's like, none of these they're all budget pictures, and it's okay for a budget picture to have a small mistake if it overwhelmingly has 3 times as much fun versus a movie that doesn't have like a plot hole in it that is kind of boring. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, people lump blaxploitation with stinkers a lot because they are budget movies. They were all budget movies. But when you have to actually whittle it down, like what kind of stinks and what doesn't, it gets a little tricky. And you want to glob on to Pam Grier because she's the best.
She's the best.
I want to put Pam Grier in this, but I just can't because all of her movies were too good. So, I get what you're saying, but they're too quality. Yeah. Whereas, like, that doesn't mean that you can't judge the entire catalog by 4 movies that were solidly made by our tours that went on to do a bunch of other shit. It's like comparing everything to, say, A Night of the Living Dead. Like, all the shit must be Night of the Living Dead. No, there's a bunch of stupid zombie movies out there. It's just a tough genre to like kind of like go in retrospect and actually like truly say these movies stink, but they should be still appreciated without stepping on any toes, and at the same time not pissing off people that have the wrong things on their list.
Yeah, and that's where like Friday Foster and The Big Birdcage can't be on our podcast.
No,
they're too well
not.
made.
Of course not. I even struggle with I'd struggle with Shaft.
Shaft is too well made.
Yeah, it's too well made. But Truck Turner is fucking awesome. I think it's the most badass blaxploitation movie I've ever seen. Like, it's all of the cliches when you think of everything that is like. I mean, if you were to draw a picture of a blaxploitation film just from genre cliches, it's going to be Truck Turner. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. Go have fun with it. So, Sam, it's your pick next. Where are we?
We're not going to pick until the 0.5 episode, the COVID episode, because the specific reason is the Corona-sode is that I'm only going to pick stuff that's readily available.
Yeah.
And
for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So for the foreseeable future anyway, but I'm going to pick something that anybody can get to streaming wise. So
all right. Well,
we won't know till when I have a list, and a bunch of the stuff on my list before, the world decided to be awesome. It was a bunch of weird, obscure shit that I usually pick that I only have on Blu-ray and crap like that. And I'm not going to do it. So I'll pick something that we can all watch together.
Okay. Good call. So if you don't have any plans on Thursday, check out Corona-sode number 3, where we will talk about such fine things as Ozark and The Three Amigos and Burt Reynolds' Gator McCluskey character. So
if you guys are going to talk about Ozark being legit, I'll probably throw my 2 cents out. I finished the first season of Fleabag.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I love that show.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Fleabag 2 on Wednesday. So all of you guys that are named Sam and Jackie, eat shit until then. Fans.
Wait, no, all of you guys that aren't Justin and Jackie don't eat shit. You two can eat shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's the way. We like the fans. We hate each other. That's the way this works, right?
I thought that's what I said. Either way, I hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe out there. Continue practicing social distancing. Watch some good shows that we say. Go back and listen to all of our episodes if you missed some stuff, because a lot of the streaming do's and don'ts are still out there that you can check out. So make sure you go back and listen to an old show. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Stinker Madness. Get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.
Tucker Turner.
Jesus Christ, it's the name of the movie. Tucker
Burner.
Tucker Schmuckers.
Like the one guy's like, if I would have known that would have been Tucker.
Trucker. Turner.
If I would have known that was going to be... Fuck, okay, let me start again.
Max Schmuckers.
we just edit this bullshit out.
Oh,
okay.
no, I'm tagging this shit on the end of it.
God damn it. Okay, so the guy, they come back to the bar after the two leave, and the one guy's like, if I would have known that was going to be Trucker. Mac, Truck, Turner, Truck. Fuck.